welcome to my channel. I'm Katie. This is Katie's Bookish Escape, and today I'm going to be doing my end of year survey for 2019. This survey is done by Perpetual Page Turner. I will link a link in the description box down below so you can check it out. It's from like 2018 or last year, but it's the same one. Murphy Napier uses it, so that's the one I used. All right, the first question is, what was the best book you read this year? So for me, that has got to be Beartown by Frederick Backman. I have a dedicated review for this. It's in my top 10 books that I read this year. If you don't know anything about it, it is about a small town in Sweden, which is extremely cold all year round, and they're a hockey town, and something horrible happens. And what the perpetrator of this horrible act happens to be a hockey player. So it's all kind of about how the town and all the characters in the story deal with this and dealing with the fact that someone they look up to and hero worship has committed a vicious crime. The next question is a book I was excited about and thought I would like, but I didn't. And this goes to, sorry, my guinea pig's chewing on something. She's over there. She's chewing on wood. Okay, so if you couldn't hear that, never mind, but it distracted me. Anyway, a book that I thought I would love that I didn't is Gloomily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the third book in the Raven Cycle series, and I liked the first one. I liked the second one. I was hoping I would like the third one even more, but instead it just I really disliked it. I give it 2 stars. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to move the plot forward. You could cut the third book out and it would not change the entire 4-book series for the most part. So that was my big disappointment of 2019. Now one of the guinea pigs is drinking from their water bottle too. The next one is the most surprising book that I read this year, and that would go to Pet Sematary by Stephen King. And it wasn't so much surprising the story. I knew what it was about. I had seen the original TV movie way back when I was a kid. But what surprised me is how good it was, I guess. I knew it was a horror book, but I didn't realize it was going to be a psychological exploration of grief. And that was really what it was. And it was surprising in a good way. The next one is a book I push the most people to read. Now, I don't know if I have much of a following to actually do that, but I know my sister read it, and I know a few people at least have said, okay, I gotta pick up this book. I gotta get this book. After I've commented on videos praising it, or in my video, I even have a dedicated review about why you should read it, and that is Beartown, favorite book of last year by Frederick Backman. The next question is the best series that I started. So Beartown is actually a series. There's 2 books out, and Backman has said he's going to write another one. And also the first book in Mistborn, what's it called? The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Love both of those books. Great starts to series. Oh, but you know what? Also The Poppy War by Rebecca Kwong. So lots of favorites. I can't choose just one, but I guess Beartown's my favorite. Then the next one is favorite sequel. The sequel to Beartown, probably Us Against You by Frederick Backman. And also the sequel to The Final Empire of Mistborn, which is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. And then best ending to a series that you read. Here's the thing. I only read 1 ending to a series. No, 2 endings to a series. So the Raven Cycle and Mistborn. And I didn't like the end of the Raven Cycle, and Mistborn, I didn't actually really like the 3rd book, but it was still good. So I guess Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. The next question is an author that's new to you, that's your favorite, and it's going to be Frederick Backman. Again, Beartown, Us Against You, A Man Called Uva, and Every Morning The Way Home Gets Longer and Longer are all books I've read by him in 2019, and I plan to continue to read more of his books in 2020. The next question is best book outside of my comfort zone. Now, for me, that would probably have been Radium Girls by Kate Moore, just because I don't tend to read nonfiction for fun. It's usually only for like research purposes, so it was really great to read a nonfiction book just because I wanted to, and it ended up being in my top 10 favorites of the year, so yay. The next question is a book that was most action-packed, and in my opinion, of the books I've read, that would be The Poppy War by Rebecca Kwong. I love this book, and it is a military fantasy grimdark story based off history, so I thought it was so action-packed. There's lots of war, lots of drama, lots of fighting, and there's also a school setting, which is just oh so fun. So for me, it was The Poppy War. The next question is the book I'm most likely to reread, and I think that's going to be In Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Backman. And that's because it's really short and I loved it so much, and so it's really easy to just like pick up and reread anytime I want to. If you don't know what this book is about, it's basically from the perspective of someone with Alzheimer's, and he's basically talking to his grandson and his son and their family experiencing what it's like to be going through Alzheimer's and like losing your memory. And it's crushing, but it's beautiful and amazing. The next question is favorite cover of a book that you read last year. Now, one that I completed, that's gotta be The Poppy War by Rebecca Kwong. I love this cover, I think it's gorgeous. And then I started the second book, The Dragon Republic. I didn't finish it until this year, but I think I like this cover even more. So, I mean, look at those covers. They're just beautiful. I love them so much. The next question is most memorable character, and for me that would be Uva from A Man Called Uva by Frederick Backman. This character is an old curmudgeon, and he's kind of suicidal, and he hates everyone, but yeah, ended up just loving the man. So he was really a memorable character to me of all the books that I read in 2019. The next question is most beautifully written book, and for me, I'm gonna go with In Every Morning the Way Home One day I'm gonna be able to say this correctly. In Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Backman. This is so beautifully written. The experience that the character's going through, and the confusion and the hurt and the pain, but the love and the support is also just so gorgeous and so wonderful. And it's actually translated, so like that's crazy, but it's amazing and beautiful. All right, a book I can't believe I waited until 2019 to read. That has got to be The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. And I think I'm like the only person on the planet who hadn't read The Kite Runner before a few months ago. The shortest book I read was The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Backman. The longest book I read was The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Oh yeah, baby. That's a long one. Took several months. Also, it leaves a big old gap. No, that's not a gap. Leaves a big old gap on your bookshelf. Next question is my OTP of 2019. Now, a lot of the books I read in 2018 consist of like so many of my OTPs. So this year wasn't like a huge year for romance in any of the books I read. But I guess the characters Rowan and Citra from the Arc of the Scythe are probably my favorite. Favorite non-romantic friendship or relationship has got to be Ren and Katai from The Poppy War by Rebecca Kwong. Oh my gosh, I love their friendship so freaking much, and it only gets better in the second book. They are amazing friends. Katai is so great and such a good friend, and I just adore them to pieces. Next one, the next one is best world building. Now I know the obvious answer is Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, but I honestly didn't love that book that much. And it did have good world building, I'm not gonna lie. But my favorite in regards to world building that I read, and I've only read the first book, I haven't read more of that series, so I can't say that it doesn't get even better, but I love Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I thought Thunderhead did an amazing job of explaining how the Thunderhead works in the Arc of the Scythe, and how this creation basically has, humanity's best interests at heart, and it's AI, but it has feelings and it has all these amazing capabilities and complexities. And I thought it was just done in such a way that is still accessible. And even though you would think that would be such a confusing aspect, I don't even understand like what the cloud is in our world, yet I understand it in their world. So I thought that world building was really great in Thunderhead. The next one is Hidden Gem, and that would be Sculpt Yourself by Savvy here on BookTube. That book was so good. If you haven't read it, you should read it. I will link down below to her channel if you haven't checked her out. It is a wonderful book. It's a great representation of how our society treats body image and how people react to that and how we judge people. And it's so good, and it shows so many different perspectives, and Savvy is a genius, and I love her, and so you should check her out. Last question I'm gonna do, by the way, there's more questions on the survey, but I felt like some of them were repetitive, or I pick and chose what I wanted to answer. So the last one is the most unique story, and to me that is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I've never read a book where there was an AI that was like good. I also never read a book where like the characters I like are supposed to like kill people for morality. Like usually it's an assassin, but yeah, the Scythe actually, you know, it's for humanity. I just think the whole plot and idea of Scythe in the Arc of the Scythe was so original and cool. Alright, so this has been my end of the year survey. I'm Katie. Again, if you've forgotten, please like this video if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos here on BookTube. Alright, have a good day. Bye.